सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। हरि ओम्। Page number 245. Second paragraph. Meditation is a scientific technique to exhaust your thoughts and expose the Supreme Self within. The intellect plays an all-important role in it, maintaining its control on the mind during the entire procedure. Meditation, therefore, is not a mere mechanical repetition of a mantra. The human mind has a tendency to be drawn to a particular object or being, tangible or intangible, even towards a deity, and its thoughts start to flow in that direction. If the intellect does not exercise its control over the mind, the thought flow continues. The mind has its way. It can cherish the thought of the object continuously for a period of time, as young lovers do. This is mere emotional indulgence, mental infatuation, and the mind runs in the direction of its desired object without the awareness of the intellect. Whereas meditation requires a disciplined effort by the practitioner. The intellect needs to be alert to keep the mind's focus on the chant, prevent it from slipping into any other thought. Such programmed, disciplined concentration on the chosen mantra is meditation. Uncontrolled, indisciplined thought flow is mental indulgence. Whereas controlled, disciplined thought flow is concentration, is meditation. Both are flow of thoughts, but of opposite nature. They produce conflicting results. Mental indulgence increases your desire, while meditation raises your desire. They act like diarrhea and purgative, seemingly the same, but seemingly the same, but with a distinct difference. Diarrhea is a disease, while purgative is a remedy. Likewise, thoughts running after the world unchecked by a discerning intellect increases your desires, creates mental instability. Whereas disciplined thought flow governed by the intellect decreases your desires. Finally, the practice of meditation annihilates your last desire and regains your supreme self. Now, he is giving the technique. So first, he has explained what is that is meditating in you. In meditation, you are engaging mind and you are engaging the intellect. And then what you do, you pick up a mantra, a chosen thought, and you keep on repeating that thought. When you go on repeating that thought, after a point of time, the thought dissolves itself into that silence. And what is a silence? Now you can't ask, because there is no way silence can be explained. We can't explain that. Now immediately you can say, sir, that silence is an experience. That also we don't know. Because experience immediately presupposes experiencer. But in this stage, there is no experiencer. Without the presence of an experiencer, experience is going on. We can write a sentence, but you can't understand what is the meaning of it. So don't try to dwell much on that silence. well before that, because the plunging into that silence is an effect, right? Eventually, you get into it, but you don't start with silence. You end in silence. Now, in the practice, what are we doing? The mind is picking up a mantra, a particular thought. Mantra is a thought, a sound, symbol, word symbol. When you go to that, we will explain. I'll explain more. We'll see more on that mantra, idea of what is mantra, what is the backdrop of a chosen mantra, because very many mantras have been given. Now, on what basis they choose mantras and what is it should be having an impact. But as I did mention earlier, mantra has two aspects to it. One is a feel factor, another one is it should not trigger further thoughts. The thought association possibilities should be minimal. Minimal thought association possibilities. So that is a basic thumb rule. Chooses a mantra, is chanting that mantra. Then what happens? By nature, the mind will slip. When it is slipping, it is the intellect's job to be alert that it has slipped. Also, it should have the strength to bring that mind back to the chosen activity, chosen mantra. This is called meditation, where you don't allow the thoughts, he says. Disciplined concentration on a chosen, or else it is just a mental indulgence. This mental indulgence is what is referred by people philosophically as trance. You see something, you see an experience, you are lost in that experience. It's called trance. I don't know how many of you have seen anyone in trance. Right? And trance is not something spiritual. In fact, it is a spiritual deterioration. You're spiritually falling. Why? You're just indulging. Only difference is what? This boy is thinking of his girl. This man is thinking of the deity. That is only difference. Otherwise, it is the same thing. You're just, both are indulgences only. But most of us will say the first to be indulgence, second to be spiritual. And that is what he is explaining here in this. Mind by itself running. When some experience is so powerful, so intense, automatically mind will get involved in that. That intensity is there. Like India, Australia, final, last over, 7 runs to win, 2 wickets in hand. Tailenders are batting. What is the situation? You see, the situation itself is so tense. Now, our fellows will go there and say, what is in cricket? Cricket is not life. Nah. We will appear philosophical, but that's not philosophy. He is not interested in cricket. That's about it. It has got nothing to do with objectivity or anything. It is indifference. But the very situation is so tensed. Whereas another match, 7 wickets in hand, 7 runs to win, 8 overs. Now, that's not a tense situation. You see, we know with no ball and wide, you can win the match. There's no necessity for batsman to bat. You know, that's all. There's no necessity for a person. There is nothing tensed there. In the first situation, there is a tension. That's what I meant. An intense experience means an experience which certain experiences are so powerful, strong. When such experiences come to you, you get it. Like you go and see Himalayas, that mountain ranges. When you go to that Kailash or Manasarovar, that the sight itself is so different. You can never visualize that sight and go and see. It is impossible. Niagara Falls. You see that Niagara Falls. You start hearing the sound, that water flowing about a kilometer. And as you keep walking closer and closer, that the sound increases, that intensity. And you go and see that. Suddenly you take a step, one turn you take, you get the grand view of Niagara Falls. It's a stunning sight to see. Your mind will just feel aghast with that. It will just stay for a period of time. That is why you keep going. But what is so interesting is the fellow who is living in Toronto, like people living in Delhi, you shift from Bangalore to Delhi. First outing is where? Agra. Correct. And then first guest arriving at home, what do? You take them to Agra. You see the Taj Mahal, say, wow, superb, man. Correct. And then fifth time when a guest comes, what do? You say, I'll drive. And you go inside also, and you tell the guest what? You go around and see, come back, I will be here. I will just be here. 14th guest coming, you will send the driver. You will not go. Why? First time when you saw the Taj Mahal, it was so stunning. You see, same thing happens here also. That is why you don't go to the same temple again and again and get inspired. Isn't it? You go to different temples. You can't go to the same temple and get inspired. You see, every day you go to Tirupati, you will not have any inspiration. You see, you lose. But once in a lifetime you go there, it is so inspiring for you to see the deity. Why? That is mind indulgence. Remember, mind gets an experience. There are certain experiences which are powerful. It hits you. Which one will hit, we have no idea. You see, some experience will hit you. For one person, Taj Mahal will hit. For another person, Niagara Falls will hit. For another person, Himalayas will hit. For another person, something else. And there are people who will see sunrise and get hit also by that. So, depends on the individual. That also not sunrise everywhere. You see, sunrise and sunset, you have to go to Agum Bay, sunset point. And suddenly you see, hundreds of cars parked there. What is that for? Sunset point. Sunset is happening, you stand there and watch. And those who are living in Agum Bay, what are they doing? Every day it is sitting, what is there to watch? There's nothing interesting for them. Marina Beach. If you are in Chennai, any guest come to the house, they'll say, hey, Marina Beach pola, Marina Beach pola. He say, boring, man. What is there in that? Just, uh, nothing is there in that. Now, what are you guys are getting excited about? But it is such an excitement for them. Uh, Beach. For people living in Bangalore, beach is an excitement. For a fellow living in Chennai, Lal Bagh is an excitement. Why? Suddenly to see so many trees is a rare sight for them. For a fellow from Chennai, one road, that's how, that Nanda Takis road, I remember. Now we have put, that metro train is there. It came. I used to get so thrilled just to drive on that road. You know, that, from Southern Circle to that end, driving is, because both sides trees and that shade coming and covering and you're going in, the feel was something unbelievable. How long? That's called indulgence. For every one of us, we have our own thing. Now, that is not to be treated as I am concentrating. This is where most of us make a mistake. We take such experiences as a reference point to claim that I am concentrating, I am meditating. You see, like I was a eyewitness to it. Rahul Dravid came to meet Swamiji. Right. And to Rahul Dravid, they're having breakfast together. He didn't come to meet me. He came to see Swamiji. I was there. So we are also sitting along with him. We also had breakfast with him. That's about it. And in the breakfast table, Swamiji said, you should build your concentration. And Rahul Dravid, he couldn't believe. He said, what? In the cricket world, if you ask anyone, not only Indian team, any team for that matter, reference point for most of us is this man. And to this man, he says, you're not having concentration. And that's the beauty of this guy. That's why this, extraordinary people, their achievement is because of that. With such humility, like a student humility, he asked him, Swamiji, I didn't understand. Can you explain? In a flash, I remember, Swamiji just glanced at me and he looked at him. That's all. He said, learn from him. He said, that look was like that for me at least. I don't know why he looked at me or what he said, but 1 second, just a fraction, in a time you just see people like that. Yes, I didn't understand. Can you explain? To him, we explained what is concentration first. Mind by itself going. You have a great passion for batting. Therefore, your mind stays. Correct? I have a great passion for music. Therefore, my mind stays when I am singing. I have a passion for dance. My concentration is heavy on dance. See? So, mind staying behind action itself doesn't qualify for concentration. See? That's a lot of us, career guidance. They say, choose a field where what you like, what you're passionate about. Why? Only then your mind will stay behind it. Otherwise, your mind will not stay behind the action. But the problem is, it is indulgence and it builds more desires, more pressure, more agitation, as a result of which all the training, all that skill that you had developed will not be available to you at a point when it is needed the most. That is why we say you cannot do that. Then what is to be done, sir? Then what is concentration? Concentration is When the mind is standing behind the action without slipping away from the chosen activity, any activity for that matter, it stays behind it. And who is going to be keeping that is the intellect. When the intellect is keeping the mind on the present action, chosen activity, then it is concentration. So, how do you define your strength of concentration? You are defining the strength of concentration, keeping the reference point of the most desired action, action driven by a powerful desire. There, we all believe that we are having concentration. Like, I will believe I have concentration. Why? Because in the class I am not sleeping. No. Why? There is a desire for Vedanta. I have a great liking for the subject Vedanta. Therefore, my mind will cooperate and stay behind it. Because I am doing what the mind is liking. So initially it will appear as concentration. It says, no, that is not concentration. Then how do you define concentration, sir? Concentration is independent of you, whether you like an activity or not, whether there is a desire or not, whether there is passion or not. Whatever action, whatever activity you are engaged in right now, your mind stays behind that. By nature, mind will not stay. Intellect has to force, intellect has to check, intellect has to keep the mind behind the action. So, how do you define the strength of your concentration? Don't take the reference point of your liking field of action or a disliking field of action. You see, when you have a distaste towards Carnatic music, I take you to a concert. Can you concentrate there? Not possible. Why? You don't have a taste for it. You don't like it. Don't choose a field which you like or dislike. Choose a field of action where it is neutral. Neither there is a strong liking towards it or a strong dislike towards it. I just have a flair. That's about it. I have a flair for it, sir. That's all. There you see whether your mind is staying behind that or not. That is how we identify the strength of your concentration. So he says, unless your intellect is checking that, what will happen? Mind will indulge, and because of that indulgence, it will increase the desires. It will start indulging in the activity. Indulgence in the activity, all that you go back to the chapter, chronology of action. Right? You have to. We have studied all that. Now I can't be explaining all those things. How action, mind indulging in activity is increasing the desires and all that, because he has already explained. So he just states here, increases. So when your mind is indulging, it is staying behind that action. When mind is concentrating, it is staying behind action. But there is a world of difference between the two. And he gives a beautiful example for that. Even though sometimes it looks little awkward for us, but best example. Diarrhea and forget. What is the difference, sir? One is a disease, one is a cure. Similarly, mind itself going is indulgence. So now, in the technique of meditation, essential points he has given is 2 points he has already explained. Essential step 1, intellect. 2 mantra. These 2 points he has given so far. Continuing. You cannot practice single pointed meditation until you have risen well above attachment and desire. When your mind becomes free from worldly attraction and entanglement, remains under the control of the intellect, and you are objective in your transactions of life, the progress and success in meditation is therefore directly proportional to the preparation of the mind. Your mind must be cleansed before you reach the seat of meditation. The purer the mind, the easier it is to practice meditation. Purity of mind means rendering it free of desire and expectation, means renunciation, nothing less. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God, assures Christ. You must first gain the purity of mind. But people directly try to meditate without the initial preparation, without purifying their mind. They will not give up their attachment and desire, their hope and expectation, earning and craving. They will not pay the price for what they seek. Those extroverted people living a material and sensual life wish to become Buddha overnight. Now he is going to another one. Yes. Unless your mind is purified, you cannot meditate. Why? Because when you sit for the japa, when you sit for meditation, that meditative effort of yours has an effect or an impact, a telling of the day's activity. Whatever you have done throughout the day's lifestyle that you are living, what all you have been doing during daytime, whole day, whatever you have been doing, that doing creates a particular climate in the mind. That climate can be conducive or counterproductive. If it is performed with a particular attitude of clean, pure mind, purity of mind, what creates that purity of mind? When you do selfless actions during the daytime, your mind is purified. When you are performing selfish, self-centered, egoistic activities, that generates more thoughts, more desires. So, when you are attempting to meditate, what you need to do? You need to first prepare yourself, pre-meditative preparation. Now, today, what we are doing is we are not interested in getting into that premeditative preparation. Is a straight away start that. There is no problem. Because when we go to the procedural details, you will understand. There is nothing extraordinary there to give instructions for you to actually prepare for meditation. The problem is only with reference to the premeditative preparation. He says that premeditative preparation is your mind should be rendered pure. Like Ramatirtha says, people want to become Christ. If you want to become Christ, you have to go through what? You have to go through crucifixion. Now we want to escape that crucifixion and say directly I want to become Christ. Adalla. Sir, teach me a technique. How can I become Christ? overnight. How can I become Buddha overnight? Weekend. It is really interesting to see how people get things, beliefs. Like a man, told me here, in the sense, ages back, asked me, how long does it take with your guru for realization? How long does it take for your guru to give you moksha? I couldn't tell him. My guru never promised me moksha. My guru never told me that come and join, I will give you moksha. He never told me that. Nor I asked him. I also didn't ask him. He also didn't, tell me. This man asked. I don't know what to answer him. Now I have learned, how to answer those things. I'm talking initially, I didn't know how to answer. Because those days, only textbook answers we know. More than that, I don't know anything. Don't ask me, do you know more than that? No. Okay. Yeah, the only difference is there. Little, we know how to put it across. I've learned the art of communicating to people. That's all. This was asked. I just, dodged with, some textbook, answer I gave, and I moved. And this man, I can see the sincerity in you. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your time with this person. Come with me. I will take you to a person. I asked him, I was really interested. Genuinely I was interested actually. I said, maybe someone like, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, like that. This man, I said, what? We will go. All of us will go and sit. A huge, it was a big hall. In the hall, everyone goes and sits. And there is no orderliness with which we sit and all that. We just sit, with gaps, all of us. The guru, he comes out. He will walk through all of us. We'll just walk through. When he is walking through, he will put your hand on your sahasra. Okay. And he will put your hand and pull your hair. Now, no chance. How would I? This I'm talking when I had long hair and all that, Then I had time for me to comb, money to buy oil and all that. Now it's not there. So cut short. Problem solved. He will come. He will just, touch your head and take. When he touches your sahasra and takes up, you will get. And the best part is, I've got it, he said. I said, very good. That's the best part of it. The final, touch. Telugu movie Twister now. And he says, the touch he gave, the final one was the best. This happened to me. So he is already, Kundalini has risen in him, he has already moksha, this man. We think, meditation is something like that. Somebody will come, they will just touch. You don't need any preparation. You don't have to do anything. All that you have to do is what? Simply go and sit there. Simply sit. That's enough. Some places you don't even have to sit. You can lie down also. More convenient. As do they give pillow, blanket, alone? They have to do all this. No need of any preparation. And one of the most important reason why today meditation has become a hot cake. It's like selling so fast, so much is there because No meditation people insist on this premeditative preparation. Nobody, demands that. If they demand it out of you, finished. Nobody will go. And if nobody is coming, nobody in the sense, maybe you will find one or two fellows going to them for advice. Like how many people went to Ramana Maharishi when he was there? Now people go. Thousands of people go you today to see what? To see his cart, to see his fan, the hand fan that he has used. See those things and come back. If the hand fan of this man can be inspiring to all of us today, when Ramana himself was there, what was it? That is why we say there are, when you go to him, Ramana will demand what? He will demand preparation. Are you prepared? He will ask. If you are not prepared, he will not give. And we are not interested. We wanted to market. Which product sells, sir? Wherever there is no necessity, any college that says, like in Chennai, they made an advertisement itself. While studying itself, you can earn. It came as advertisement. People in Chennai would know. In Tamil Nadu, there was a college. They made an advertisement. And then when those fellows joined that, after joined only they realized they never had a campus itself. The college never had a campus. The fellow says what? We are going to earning while studying itself. Now today if you have to join medical college, they say what? You have to pass this NEET exam. Pre this one. If you have to join IIM, you need to be qualified. You have to pass that CAT. You have to pass this. You have to pass that. JEE, you have to pass. After that only you are going to get educated. Even before enrolling yourself into that college, it demands. Anything higher will demand. Now, meditation, is it a higher discipline or a lower discipline? Is it LKG? In LKG, what do you teach? Now not even LKG. Nowadays, people put them much before that. Play school. I say, for playing, why you need to go to school? I say. But I say, what? Play school. What is the qualification needed for a play school? Nothing is. All that you have to do is what? Go there, the play should be available, pay the fees, put the child and come back. That's all you need to do to a play school. But if you say that I have to go to IIM, you should have passed with a percentage, a degree you should have got, undergraduation you should have completed, and then they conduct one entrance exam. You should pass that entrance exam and get that particular cutoff mark, they say, and then they will call you for a group discussion. After a group discussion, there will be an interview, and then you will be selected to enroll for the course. Imagine if I have to do all that for Vedanta class. I wish you can do all that. Like Ramaji told me, if you apply now, you will not get a seat in Vedanta Academy. You know that? I said, I knew this, Ramaji, that's why I applied then itself, I said. I knew you will not take me. That's why, I joined early. No need of any preparation. Wherever a master demands pre-qualification, pre-preparation, discipline, to take up that course, to take up that particular path, to follow whatever the instructions that they are going to give. No qualification. That is why today we say bhakti. In Kali Yuga, bhakti, sir. All that you have to do is what? Surrender. Just have faith in God. He will take care. Security guard or what? Huh? God is running a security agency or what? Huh? He'll take care. I ask, why should he take care of you, first of all? I say. You say, God will take care. I say, why should he take care of you? Are you such a great fellow that are you such an important person? Such a critical one that you have to be protected, you need to be taken care of? But we say what? I have to do this, sir. We have to take. That is why he is insisting on this part. Unless your mind is purified, only a pure mind can see God. It is not only in Vedanta, it is in yoga, it is in Christ. Christ says that, Muhammad says that, Buddha says that, Mahavira says that, Zoroaster says that, Socrates says that, Krishna says that, Patanjali says. You name a master, all those masters have been insisting on purification of mind. What is purification of mind? You need to understand what is the impurity then. Impurity is what? Thoughts sticking in. The thoughts that is staying in your mind. What is the thoughts staying? When your mind is selfish, what will happen, sir? The thoughts gushing out of you automatically will be more. Unselfish mind will not have that. A selfish mind. So, without training, if you sit for meditation, without that purification, when you sit for meditation, what will happen? Your mind will say, Om, 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 Om. Within 10-15 seconds, it will jump to some other thought. Something else will come. And another thing will come. Another thing will come. And then what you do? You fight, you bring that mind back. Hey, no more all this. Come back home. Om, 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 Om. Again it slips. Again you fight and bring it back. Hey, don't think of anything else. You are supposed to be doing meditation now. Chant. Om, 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 Om. 10 minutes you do meditation, you get so tired. Why? The constant fight. That purification. A selfless mind is a pure mind. So he says, first gain the purity of mind before you plunge into meditation. How do you gain the purification of mind that he has already mentioned? How do you do that, sir? Sustained practice of Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. Through the practice of these things, the mind. So pure mind is a mind that is not having a tremendous craving, is not getting agitated by the result. The mind which doesn't have that craving for something, nor the mind that gets agitated by the fruit, by the effect of action. So no craving for something that is not there, nor does it get agitated. That's what he meant by desires and attachment. You have a desire for something that you are not having, getting attached to something that you are having. In life, you have only these two things. There are certain things that you don't have. There are things that you have. Towards the thing that you are not having, you develop a desire. Towards the thing that you possess, you develop an attachment. Such a mind will be forced. Now, if you forcefully calm that mind, or if you forcefully attempt to calm that mind, What will happen, sir? It will not work. You can attempt, but it will not work. When it is not working, you will get frustrated. You will get agitated. When will you recognize it is not working? Only when you do meditation for a period of time. Now, we don't do that also for a period of time. In our tamas, we are saved. In your laziness to this practice, we are saved. Remember, you are protected by your own tamas, your own laziness. You don't do it. But there are few people who are so sincere, they do. And immediately we will go by what? Statistical report. The efficacy of this is 93%, sir. 93% efficacy. Therefore, what? Best one. Take it. Now, humanity, by nature, human mind is what? Majority of human beings are in a state of tamas, particularly when it comes to a higher disciplines. To a higher discipline, mind will not do, will not cooperate. It will force, it will stop. We have seen that earlier. The mind will not allow you to think itself. Your tamas will dismiss thinking, and your rajas will get fatigued when you start thinking. So it will say it's not worth it. It's not worth so much. Thinking is not worth, sir. Doing is more worth. Therefore, what are you going to do? Same way we say here, what? It's not going to be helping. You got it? No. Enough. Be satisfied with it. All that you want is what? I just wanted to have some relaxation. I got that relaxation. Enough for me. And then after 1 year, I can go for another round. It is like detoxing. People go, no? Like body detoxing, you go for mind detoxing is what you believe. It is not detoxing. It is nothing. It is just a cut off. You clip off from the things because every thought is an agitation to you. No thought is elevating to us. The thought is an agitation. Therefore, it is a chaotic state. The mind is. Meditation is the highest spiritual practice. It requires premeditative preparation. Your mind must be rendered equanimous to be able to meditate effectively. To plunge into meditation directly without preparation is futile, even detrimental. The time spent in meditation is a small part of the day. The rest of the day, you are preoccupied with worldly activity. Your activity during the day tells upon your practice of meditation. Egocentric, selfish activity agitates your mind, and an agitated mind cannot meditate. Whereas selfless, sacrificial activity makes your mind calm and composed, renders it conducive for meditation. The human mind is uncorrelated by self centered activity. Meditation cannot help heal the unserrated mind if the activity during the day continues to be selfish. Just as a wound treated by a surgeon can never heal if you keep scratching and irritating it the rest of the day. This is the sad plight of those who claim to practice meditation, who sincerely try to meditate every day, while all day they indulge in desire-ridden selfish activity that ruins their effort in meditation. Continuing this way, their mind develops frustration, bitterness. They turn into ugly caricatures in life. This is the effect of it. When you plunge into meditation without the preparation. So, what is the preparation? Premeditative preparation. Mind should be calm. What is calm mind? a mind that is not rushing to the world. That is what is referred as renunciation. Such a mind. Then that mind needs to be directed, governed, monitored by the intellect. That monitored mind picks up a thought, a mantra, and keeps staying with that thought. That's called meditation. So, what is meditation, sir? Concentrated concentration is called meditation. When you are not able to have a concentration itself, there is no way that you can go for a concentrated concentration. Meditation is like hitting the bullseye. When you are not able to hit the board, you are attempting to hit a bullseye is a, if someone comes and tells you, I hit a bullseye, when he doesn't know, when he can't even hit the board, there is no way that you can claim. His claim is a false claim. And he says, if you forcefully do it without preparation, your effort is futile. Not only it will be futile, it can be even detrimental. A mind which is so agitated, if you arrest it, when you come to sudden stillness, when you bring it to stoppage, it's not going to work. It will cause damage to the mind. What is the damage? The mind will get frustrated and bitterness. What is the bitterness? This is how you think. That's why this is what we call as reading and listening. There are two things. Reading is there, listening is there. You read, you listen. What difference? When you read, you try to use your intellect to understand. Right? When you listen, in Shravana, what is happening? You use a higher intellect to understand. That is why our tradition says Shravanam is better. No reading. We don't recommend people to read. Traditional people, they say you have to listen to the Vakyas, the Guru Vakyam. Is a Shastra should be done what? The Shastra you got to listen. The Vedas, the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, the Purana, everything is listening. Listening means what? Question answer. The student asks the question, the teacher gives a reply. He listens to it. He listens to the teacher. There, what is he doing? He is trying to throw light on a subject using a higher intellect, a superior intelligence. Another one is reading is using your intelligence you read. Now that's what the problem is. In reading, there is a big risk involved. What is the risk? If you misread, who will correct you? When you are reading, who are the parties involved? There are only two things are there. One, the book. Another one is you. Isn't it? There are two things. One is a book. Another one is you read. When you read, you misread. Let's say, when you misread something, who will correct you? Whereas you go to a master, you go to guru and listen. When you misunderstand, what will happen? There is a person to correct you. That is why in our tradition we say Shravanam to be done first. After Shravanam only comes Manana, reflection. Your independent thinking. If you do only Shravanam, only listening, nothing will happen. Your intelligence will grow. That's about it. Intelligence in the sense you will remember all the words. You will not have any problem with words after that. All the words will just flow out. There is no issues. That is called intelligence. Now, intellect will not grow by that. You got to strengthen your intellect. How do you strengthen your intellect, sir? Listen first and then reflect. After listening, you have to do independent thinking. For a length of time, you have to do Shravanam first. So he says, first strengthen your intellect. How do you strengthen your intellect? Through Shravana and Manana. After Shravanam and Mananam, you will have your intellect strong enough. Then purify the mind. How do you purify the mind? By checking your day's activities. Whole day you are doing so many things. What all that activities that you are performing, that actions that you are doing, they're of what quality? Selfish, unselfish, selfless. Selfish meaning focuses purely on what is a benefit for my body, my mind, my intellect. Unselfish means someone else's body, mind, intellect. So I do an action. Action is performed to satisfy the demands of my body, my mind, my intellect. That is called selfish. I perform action to satisfy someone else's body, somebody else's mind, somebody else's intellect. Then it is called unselfish. What is selfless, sir? Action performed for the sake of the self, not for my body, your body, my mind, your mind, my intellect, your intellect. No equipments. Without any reference to the equipments your actions are performed is called a selfless action. When you perform such selfless activities, that will calm your mind. Calm mind means what? Mind which is not having desires and attachment. A mind which is mature, a mind that is in a state of renunciation. Such a mind, you give it a focus on a same thought. You take a mantra and choose. And now he is moving on to the next idea. So, what is the principle behind this meditation? Because from meditation only, you are going to get realization. Okay. Now you have few days, so I'm just referring it. What is the context of that next topic? When you go there, we'll explain. Okay. Now, the topic says, first he has given preparation and then the technique. What is meditation and how you are supposed to do that meditation. All that is over. Prepare yourself, your premeditative preparation, this and this. Choose a mantra, chant, get into silence, and leave it. After that, we don't know. Okay. Just dissolve in the silence. All meditation. Now the question is, sir, how is it that meditation is going to take me to realization? How is meditation connected to self-realization? what is the logic, what is the way it is connected. And that is the central theme of the next topic, principle of meditation. What is the principle under which this practice of meditation works? The technique works. The technique is an art. Principle is a science. There is a principle, there is a science, and there is a art. First, he has given the art. First, he has explained what is this. Next, he is giving the thumb rule. Because if you don't understand the principle, what is the difference between down the street there is a mechanic and a mechanical engineer? What is the difference? What is the difference between a mason and the architect? Mason and the structural engineer. What is the difference, sir? All that is known to the engineer will be known to this man also. But still, how much you pay to the roadside mechanic, how much you pay to a mechanical engineer? Right? We pay him much more. Why? Because he knows the principle behind it. He knows the science behind it. This person knows the technique, the practical aspect. He knows that. Now, when you are going to be doing your own things, you are supposed to be studying both. You need to be grounding yourself on the art part of it as well as the science part of it. The pure science and the technology. First, he has given the technology of meditation. And now he is going to be expounding the principle, the science of meditation, the logic of meditation, how meditation takes you to realization. So what we understand is only this much. What meditation is not for. Then what is it for? It is for realization. Now you got to establish how meditation is going to take you to realization. For which he has already defined what is meditation. Now, realization we need to understand and then establish a link between how this leads to that. That is the next topic, principle of meditation. Right. We'll see that in the next class. Thank you. Hari Om.